Brexit was sold to many as a way for Britain to take back control of its borders, its laws, and its economy. A key argument for leaving the European Union was reducing the influx of migrant workers, particularly those from Eastern Europe, who some believed were taking jobs away from British citizens. In the years leading up to the Brexit vote, the presence of Eastern European workers was a hot-button issue, fueling debates about immigration and national identity. But fast forward to today, and the irony couldn't be more stark. Since the UK's exit from the EU, many of these essential workers have left, returning to their home countries or seeking opportunities elsewhere. Now, Britain finds itself facing labour shortages across key sectors, from agriculture to healthcare, where Eastern European workers once played a crucial role. The very workers who were once seen as part of the problem are now desperately needed to keep the UK's economy functioning. So how did we get here? Why does Britain, after Brexit, find itself needing Eastern European workers more than ever before? In this video, we'll break it all down, exploring how the labour shortages have unfolded, why Eastern Europeans are leaving, and what it means for the UK's future. But before we get into it, please hit that like and subscribe button. As a new channel, this goes a long way. Now, back to the video. The story of Eastern European migration to the UK gained momentum with the largest expansion of the European Union in 2004. This historic event saw 10 new countries join the EU, including Poland, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Slovakia, and others. 3 years later, in 2007, Romania and Bulgaria also joined the EU, completing the wave of Eastern European countries integrated into the Union. With their entry into the EU, citizens from these nations gained the right to move freely across member states, leading to a wave of migration to Western European countries like the UK. Poland led the way, with thousands of Polish nationals moving to the UK seeking higher wages and better working conditions. By the mid-2010s, the Polish community in the UK had swelled to become the largest non-British ethnic group in the country. Estimates suggest that by 2021, there were around 900,000 Polish people living in the UK, making them an integral part of the UK's socio-economic landscape. Similarly, Romanian migrants saw a significant increase in their population, growing from just over 83,000 in 2011 to a staggering 550,000 by 2021. These Eastern Europeans didn't just migrate, they established deep roots in the UK. They built communities, created cultural hubs, and contributed to the rich diversity of British society. In areas like Burnt Oak in London, known as Little Romania, Romanian culture became a vibrant part of the local scene. Polish shops, restaurants, and cultural centres sprouted across various British cities, indicating a seamless integration into their new home. Eastern Europeans played a pivotal role in the UK's economy, becoming the backbone of several critical sectors. In agriculture, they were indispensable. Seasonal workers from Eastern Europe filled the fields and orchards across the UK, performing physically demanding tasks that kept the food supply chain running smoothly. An estimated 67% of seasonal agricultural workers came from countries like Poland, Romania, and Bulgaria, driving the multi-billion-pound industry that supplies fresh produce to British supermarkets. In the construction industry, the contribution of Eastern Europeans was equally significant. Skilled labourers from these countries brought expertise and craftsmanship, helping to shape the UK's urban landscape. From residential developments to large-scale infrastructure projects, the presence of Polish bricklayers, Romanian electricians, and Bulgarian carpenters was undeniable. The NHS, one of Britain's most treasured institutions, also greatly benefited from Eastern European workers. Over 4,150 Romanians were employed in healthcare roles, including doctors, nurses, and support staff, filling critical gaps in a system that has been under continuous pressure. These professionals not only provided essential healthcare services, but also brought diverse medical expertise to the forefront of British healthcare. Beyond these sectors, Eastern Europeans also thrived in small business ownership. Many started their own ventures, from restaurants and retail stores to technology firms and consultancy services. This entrepreneurial spirit brought new ideas, investments, and job creation to the UK, enriching its economy in ways that go beyond the numbers. Despite their contributions, the political climate in the UK began to shift dramatically in the years leading up to the Brexit referendum in 2016. Immigration became a hot-button issue, with debates centred on the need to control borders and reduce the number of EU nationals moving to the UK. Campaigns pushing for Brexit argued that the UK's sovereignty was at stake and that the country needed to take back control of its laws and immigration policies. The vote to leave the EU marked a significant turning point. For many Eastern Europeans, it felt like the door was closing on a period of open and welcome migration. The end of free movement meant that thousands of EU citizens in the UK had to apply for settled status to remain legally in the country. Over 1.4 million Romanians and 1.1 million Polish nationals applied for this status, hoping to secure their future amidst the uncertain political landscape. This shift in policy also had a psychological impact. Many Eastern Europeans began to feel less welcome in a society that once opened its doors to them. The anti-immigrant rhetoric, combined with increasingly strict immigration policies, created an atmosphere of unease and insecurity for migrants who had contributed so much to the UK's economy. One of the most significant consequences of Brexit was the rise in xenophobia and anti-immigrant sentiments directed at Eastern Europeans. Reports of hate crimes surged in the aftermath of the referendum, with many migrants facing discrimination, verbal abuse, and even physical attacks. The tragic murder of Polish factory worker Arkadiusz Józwik in 2016 highlighted the severity of this hostility, as the incident was widely seen as a hate crime fueled by anti-immigrant sentiments. The media also played a role in shaping public perception. Sensational headlines and stereotypes like the Polish plumber painted a negative image of Eastern European workers as competitors for jobs and social benefits. This portrayal contributed to a societal divide, where the contributions of these migrants were often overshadowed by fears of economic competition and cultural change. For many Eastern Europeans, the social climate in the UK had become increasingly challenging. They reported feeling isolated, unwelcome, and targeted, leading them to reconsider their future in a country that once seemed full of promise. In response to these challenges, a growing number of Eastern Europeans began to consider returning to their home countries. This reverse migration trend was not only influenced by the social and political climate in the UK, but also by the changing economic conditions in Eastern Europe itself. Countries like Poland and Romania were no longer seen as nations with limited opportunities. They had become emerging markets with robust economic growth. Poland's economy has seen remarkable progress over the past decade, becoming one of the fastest growing in the European Union. The construction, IT, and manufacturing sectors have expanded significantly, offering well-paying positions that can rival or even surpass those in the UK. Wages have increased and job opportunities have become more plentiful, making Poland an attractive option for many who had previously left in search of better prospects. Romania's economic landscape has also transformed, with significant improvements in infrastructure, healthcare, and education. Foreign investments have spurred growth in various industries, leading to a surge in job opportunities for skilled professionals. This economic revival has enticed many Romanians to return home, where they can apply their skills and knowledge gained abroad to help build their nation's future. While Eastern European countries are reaping the benefits of this reverse migration, the UK is facing the consequences of a depleted workforce. The labour shortages in critical sectors like agriculture, healthcare, and hospitality have become more pronounced, with many employers struggling to fill roles that were once occupied by migrant workers. The government's Pick for Britain campaign aimed to encourage local workers to take up jobs in the agricultural sector. However, the initiative saw limited success, as only a small percentage of British citizens were willing to work in these physically demanding and low-paying roles. The reality is that many of these jobs, despite being essential, do not offer the competitive salaries or career prospects that attract local talent. Faced with these challenges, the UK government has had to relax its immigration policies once again, introducing seasonal worker visas to fill the gaps in the labour market. This move has been a stark reminder of the UK's dependency on migrant labour and the complexities of balancing immigration control with economic needs. Brexit has left a lasting impact not only on the UK's economy, but also on its political and social fabric. The debate over immigration has highlighted a deeper divide within British society, with contrasting views on the value and impact of migrants. On one side, there is recognition of the essential contributions that Eastern Europeans have made to the UK's growth and prosperity. On the other, there are concerns about the pressures on public services, housing, and jobs that some attribute to high levels of immigration. This divide has also influenced the UK's relationship with the EU and its place on the global stage. As the UK charts its course outside of the European Union, it faces the challenge of redefining its immigration policies, economic strategies, and international partnerships. How the nation chooses to address these issues will shape its future for years to come. As we look to the future, the migration dynamics between Eastern Europe and the UK continue to evolve. For Eastern Europeans, the decision to stay, return, or seek opportunities elsewhere will depend on a combination of economic factors, political stability, and societal acceptance. For their home countries, the return of these skilled professionals represents a unique opportunity to leverage their talents for national development. For the UK, the challenge lies in finding a sustainable approach to immigration that supports economic growth while addressing public concerns. The country must consider how to attract the skills and labour it needs to thrive in a post-Brexit world, where global competition for talent is fiercer than ever. The story of Eastern European migration to and from the UK is not just about policies and politics, it's about people striving for a better life. It's about communities built, dreams fulfilled, and challenges faced in an ever-changing landscape. Whether they choose to stay in the UK, return to their homeland, or move on to new horizons, the contributions of these migrants have left an indelible mark on both the UK and their countries of origin. If you found this deep dive into the story of Eastern European migration to the UK insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content on global migration trends and socio-economic issues. Let us know in the comments below what you think about the impact of Brexit on migration and other issues. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.